Now in this video I'm going to talk to you about submixing. That's using the blue faders over here at the side of the board. I introduced them many videos ago, but we haven't really talked to you about them. They're labeled sub 1, 2, sub 3, and sub 4. They can do a variety of things, but one of the things is you can take several faders and mix them into one of these buses as an intermediate mix point. That allows you to separate out a larger mix and make it a little easier to handle. So in this video I'm going to go over the scenario of using these as mono submixes, as if you're running sound in mono. And a lot of live sound is run in mono, so this is a very common scenario. So what I'm going to do is assign drums to the first fader, then I'll assign my guitars to the second fader, all the other instruments here, and then the vocals here. So I'll show you how to do that. Before I do that, I'll stick this scribble strip on here so we can keep that straight. So we've got drums, guitars, instruments, and Vox for vocals. So I'll turn those down to start with. Now currently all the channels are assigned to the main fader. If I hit any select button, you'll see it's assigned to the main. Well, we no longer want to do that. So on the kick, we want to not assign it to the main. We want to assign it to the first subgroup. If we assign it to main and the first subgroup, it will go to the subgroup and to the main. For this scenario, that's not what we want. We want it assigned to a single subgroup. So we want to turn on sub 1 and turn off main. And we're going to want to do that for all of the rest of the drums. So we're going to assign them to sub 1, turn off main. Here's the overheads, sub 1, turn off main. They're linked, but that doesn't matter. Sub 1 main, sub 1 main, and I'm just going to go down right down the row and do to start off with all the drums. So now all of our drums are assigned here. Now it has an assignment as well. If we hit select, you'll see it's currently assigned to nothing. So we want to assign it to main. There are scenarios where you don't want it assigned to anything because it has its own hardware out on the back of the board. But for this particular scenario, to use it as a submix bus, then you need to assign this to the main fader. So now we have the scenario where our drums, which is over the green tape here, are going into this fader, and then this fader is going into the main. So let's play back a little bit and see if that actually worked. Breath. And it did. So this fader now has our drums on it. Now let's do the same thing and get our guitars. We'll also include the bass guitar in that. So I'll select the bass guitar and we're going to unassign it from main and assign it to sub 2. And then select guitar 2, same thing, guitar 3, same thing. And we'll also pick up these effects guitars that way, assign them to sub 2, not sub 3. And then I think we're all set with guitars. So we'll turn these up a little bit. And then we should have control of the guitars in the mix using the second fader. Now this is a common mistake. You think you got it all set up, but you don't. So what's wrong? Well, if we hit select here, we didn't assign the guitars to anything. So we need to assign the guitars to main. Alright, so in that section of the song these guitars aren't playing, but we're picking up these effects guitars. But you can see how handy that is right away, that we're able to get those submixes, and then we can do a lot of our mixing right here. So let's continue on and pick up the other instruments. So the next instrument we've got is the piano. We're going to assign that to sub 3. Turn this off. Synth we'll assign to sub 3. Turn that off. And basically piano and synth are our other instruments in this particular case. And then our final thing that we need to set up is all of the vocal channels. So if we select here, then we'll turn this off and assign this to sub 4, sub 4, sub 4, and sub 4. Could turn these up a little bit, get our lead vocal going. And now this time we won't make the mistake. We'll select this, assign it to the main.
One breath at a time. In it all feels like the very first time, but put it on me now. I don't want to go back to my solitaire town. Breath at a time.
And that's how you set up submixes. At least this is how you set up the mono submixes using a Studio Live AI series board. I find it as a really handy feature, and you're going to really enjoy using this to really simplify your mixing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.